They are fundamentally fearful of mistakes and failure.
Hi, my name is Zoe. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And in this channel, I speak with guests and we share perspectives and our insight into things that really matter. If this is what you're looking for, do consider subscribing. And in today's episode, we have Olivia Carter, a leadership coach and mentor, to share with us practical tips to elevate your leadership skills. Coming up next.
So remember when I talked about the coaching and the mentoring? Leadership is absolutely about empowering the growth and creating the future leaders.
Right.
It's all about enabling them to find the tools and their way forward. So often as leaders we want to rescue and dive in and
Yes.
support and fix, particularly for women. We want to fix and sort everything out and do everything for everybody.
Yeah.
When we're in that rescuer mode, we are actually disempowering other people. And also we're putting a lot of pressure on ourselves as well, because then we get burdened with X, Y and Z. So the coaching and empowering people is to really sit tight sometimes and sit on your hands a little bit and really ask those, what could you do differently? What would others do? What would you say to a friend? What would a friend say to you? So that they are creating their solutions.
That's right.
Because when they create their solutions and the way forward, a beautiful thing happens, that they take that action because you've empowered them to work out the solution.
Right.
So that's an absolute key thing about empowering others. The other thing about, and I see a lot of leaders quite reluctant to delegate because they are fundamentally fearful of mistakes and failure. And so therefore they end up doing all this rescuing and doing everything, and they wonder why they're burnt out. Sometimes to empower others, we've got to give them those opportunities. We've got to give them those challenges and that opportunity and that chance to do something out of their comfort zone. And actually recognise that if it's not perfect and if they've made a mistake, that's okay as well. My other favourite saying is, there is no such thing as failure. There is only learning and growth.
Yes,
totally. To empower other people, we've got to give them the opportunities, and that requires delegating and giving them the chance. As a leader, you will always have boundaries around that, so you would always be giving them the support around that, so that, at the end of the day, they're not going to crash a company by you asking them to do the task. But if you don't give people the opportunities to empower themselves, then they're just only ever going to stay at that same plateau.
This is exactly what we're feeling. We don't know how to delegate. We take everything upon ourselves because we feel we didn't want to trouble someone else, not knowing that we are actually robbing them of the opportunity to learn. And I think you also mentioned, which is also very right, it is okay to make mistakes. I think that is something we need to come to terms with, and to allow our team members to be assured that no matter what, they are supported. And I like what you mentioned, I think the support is very important. It's not about delegating only, but it's delegating with constant support, right?
Absolutely. So one matrix which I absolutely love is, and this is another tool, it's called the Challenge Support Matrix.
Okay.
You can look at it on YouTube or on Google, but it's called the Challenge Support Matrix.
Okay.
So when people are in high support and high challenge,
right,
that is when we're going to get the most growth and development out of individuals. When people are in low support and high challenge, that's going to create stress, burnout, frustration. When people are in low challenge and low support, that's going to create apathy, low growth, just quite stagnant. So the key golden area is high challenge with high support.
Right. It's true that we should be very mindful about the support that our team members need. And it goes back to listening. It goes back to the feedback. And I think it all ties in together as a bundle of tools,
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you think about even that word called trust, if you gave a member of your team the opportunity to do something that, you know, and you gave them that support and they achieved that, maybe it wasn't perfect, but they achieved something through it. Think of that trust and growth that individual is going to have. It is
it's powerful.
Really powerful.
That's right. In fact, we struggle with building trust, and I think this could be one of the reasons. You know, year on year we do have surveys, and team members will say, "Oh, there is a low sense of pride. My leaders don't seem to trust me," and I think it's all tying with the lack of delegation, lack of support, like you said, low challenge, low support. So I think that's really something that I think leaders really need to look into. These are fundamentals to the growth of the company as well, or any organization.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what builds on that is this wonderful thing called self-awareness, because... Yeah, and I think when people are reluctant to delegate, or people need to sort of just stop and pause and go, what's going on for me? Why am I reluctant to delegate? What is it because if something doesn't go perfectly well, it's going to be a reflection on me or a judgment on me and is it about your own sense of fear of failure or fear of success? Is it about if that person does really well, they might be more successful than me? So this beautiful word called self-awareness, and just leaders really waking up to what's really consciously going on for them.
Yeah. You're right. Why are you feeling this way? I think that is something you got to ask yourself, because it is not healthy. We are all going to burn out. We all need one another. Yeah.